it's B. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I went Christmas themed and we're making cards. So the first step is making the actual cards. Of course you can go and purchase these, but I decided to make them myself. So I took a piece of multimedia paper from my sketchbook and I divided it into two so I could make two cards out of it. And once I cut it, I just folded the paper in half and that was my card. It's pretty simple and you can use any kind of paper for this. I just decided to go with this paper since it was thicker and I knew I would be using markers and paints. So for my first card, I drew a gingerbread man wearing a Santa hat and a bow tie and he's waving. And then at the top of the card, I just wrote Happy Holidays and it's pretty simple. For this, I had to look up a picture of a gingerbread man and actually figure out how to draw him because when I tried to do it from memory, it wasn't working out too well. Then I just added the little details like the eyes, buttons, and the squiggly lines where his shirt line and sleeves would be using a white Jelly Roll pen. And at the top, I wrote Happy Holidays with my Tombow Fudanowski. For the second card, I drew the Grinch wearing a Santa hat, and the first thing I did was go over the pencil lines that I had already sketched out before with a marker before going in with my Crayola Super Tips to color him in. Using my white pen, I added a highlight to his eye, and now I'm writing "Don't be a Grinch" at the top of the card. For this card, I drew an elf on the shelf sitting with her knees against her chest, and I thought this one was very cute. It's one of my favorite cards. And again, I'm going over the pencil lines with a marker before going in with the Crayola Super Tips. Using my Tombow Fudanowski, I'm writing Merry Christmas at the bottom of the card in a calligraphy style cursive. For this card, I drew a fireplace with a candle and holly on top of it and stockings on it. And for the message at the top of the card, I wrote warm wishes, which I thought went well with this very warm fireplace. And I did the same thing, outlining the drawing, going over those pencil lines, and then coloring it in with my Crayola Super Tips. I used my Tombow Fudanowski at the top to write the warm wishes, and I did it in a kind of more spread out calligraphy. card, I didn't have to outline any drawings, but I did have to go over the pencil. First, I used my Tombow Fudanowski pen to go over the message, which was just "Let it snow." And then for the rest of the card, with my Crayola Super Tip markers, I used varying types of blues and went over the snowflakes. This card is a lot more simple than a lot of these cards. I just drew a bunch of Christmas trees using different types of greens with my Crayola Super Tip markers, and I just put them all over the page, which I did beforehand actually divide the page out into even sections, so each of these trees is actually inside of a little penciled square. And then I went in and erased those pencil lines, and then over top of those trees I wrote "Merry Christmas" in a calligraphy style. This card is not simple, but it is different. I went over the pencil lines with my marker, but I didn't go in and color it in with my Crayola Super Tips. After I drew it out, I realized I liked it a lot better in black and white, so I just left it. And for this one, I drew Santa Claus with his sleigh and reindeer in front of a moon and over a little village. And for the message, I just wrote "Ho ho ho" using my Tombow Fudanowski yet again. Now moving on to the fun stuff. I feel that watercolors really make something simple look very nice. They're so easy to do, I feel, especially if you're not trying to make something look super realistic. For this, I just drew a circle and called it an ornament. I drew a bow at the top, and then I drew its little hook, and then I went in with watercolors, which I'm pretty sure are Crayola, nothing fancy, and just went over it. Afterwards, I did erase the pencil lines, so I just left it watercolors. I didn't actually outline it with the black marker, and I do like the way that it turned out. And then I set it off to the side to dry, and then I went back to write the message, which is, "It's the most wonderful time of the year." And I just drew this inside of the ornament in a calligraphy style. For the next watercolor option, I drew a mistletoe. So for this, I just used my brush and the green and just did little leaf-like strokes. I did skinny, and then at the end I kind of bared down and shaped it into a leaf. I didn't add any berries or anything. I just left it pretty simple, just the leaves. And at the top, I had its stem tied with a bow, which I then painted in red. And at the bottom, it says "Season's Greetings." this final card is definitely one of my favorites and also one of the more simple ones. For this, I just added blue and purple watercolors, and I just kind of mixed them together onto the page, and then I set it off to the side to dry before I actually went in and added the little details. So at the bottom of the page, I just wrote Silent Night, and inside of the actual watercolor, I drew little Christmas trees and a night scene. I drew a moon with some stars, and even though it's simple, I really like this card. Alright, so these are all of the cards laid out for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment down below, share this video. Let me know if you want more videos like this, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later. Bye!